So we got Amethyst and the January auction of this year. She was one that when we first got her, she just kind of had a look in her eye like she was done with people. I remember when I got all the Mustangs out of quarantine, I had them in the training barn because I was going to start doing evaluations, and I was kind of checking them all out, and I was looking down at their feet, just kind of seeing how bad they were, and I was going to let Kimberly know which ones were the worst off so we can get them on the farrier list. And I remember looking down at Amethyst's feet, and it looked like she had actually had some trims done, and some trims done recently. So I kind of started thinking that maybe she'd had some work done with her in the past. I brought her in the chute just to work on grooming her, and she was trying to bite me a lot. She just kept turning her head and trying to bite me. I got to a point where I was able to just brush her shoulder without her pinning her ears or turning her head. She was just kind of relaxed. So I let her out, and next time I brought her in, she was doing a lot better. She's gotten to the point now where I could just walk right up to her and get her caught. She's doing really well with all of her groundwork, and she has also had a saddle on a couple times. I do use desensitizing methods to get them used to pressure around their cinch and around their belly and around their flank. When I did that pressure around her flank, she did throw a couple bucks, but it wasn't anything too severe. And then she transitioned really well into just being comfortable wearing the saddle. She still is going to need quite a bit of work just to be able to be started, but she is definitely a good one that has probably had work done with her. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and go get Amethyst, and we're going to work with her a little bit, and I'm going to show her off. So the one I usually start with is this noodle off school. And this one is good because you can move it further away. So if they are worried about it, you can kind of take a little bit of that pressure away from them so that they can go through. And if they do well, you can move it closer. And eventually, you can move it to the point where it's about touching. And if they get worried about it, then that would be the spot where you'd want to stop and keep it where it is and work on going through it a few more times. At least until they're comfortable with it touching them. So right there was a little bit better. I'll just go through it one more time this way. They moved! Oh no. All right, come on, kid. And that was a lot better that time. She didn't have to rush through. So now we move on to this one here. And it's the same thing, you want to start off with it kind of far away so that they can get a feel for it first before you just have them go through it with it touching them. And all this really is just good practice for desensitizing them. Getting them used to weird things that they may end up seeing some way in nature, like if they're going down a trail and there's bushes that may be touching their legs. This will help them get used to that so they don't freak out on the trail. And then that one kind of simulates walking through bushes or trees. You got it. Yeah, you can do it. And if they get scared, just work on it a couple times. She got a little scared there, but she also realized that it's not really going to hurt her. If they ever do get to a spot where they're really worried about it, you can always help them out by just moving it back a little bit more. No, you can't cheat. Good. And since that did take her a minute and she finally figured it out, I'll give her a break with it. Kind of let her soak it all in, think about it. And I'll probably move on to something else after she gets her break. We might do the teeter-totter next. So I start by going over the side that is stationary first. And it might take them a minute just to get comfortable being around this thing. So if they want to move around it and not exactly walk over it at first, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. I'll let them check it out. And I'll ask them to come up. If they want to walk around it, that's fine. And just keep going. Until she thinks about it again. Good girl. We'll go ahead and go over this side one more time. So she got comfortable with it on the other side there. I want her to be comfortable with it on this side too. So I might correct her a little bit more. I'll let her just sit there for a minute. Now she's on the side that moves. And even though she didn't walk over it that time, I'll still give her that because she did try. We'll go back over it this way, the side that she's a little more comfortable on. And that time she did it a lot slower. But I still want to see her go over it this way. And I probably won't ask her to step on that side today, the side that moves, just because she's a little worried about it here. Good girl. And that's probably all I'm going to do with her today on that. That's just about everything that we've worked on with her, besides saddling. But she has been doing really good, so I'm not gonna push her any further. I'm gonna go ahead and put her right back out where she was and let her go hang out with her friend. She was probably adopted out through the TIP program, and somebody did put the work in with her and got the certificate and all of that, but eventually she just fell through the cracks and ended up at the auction where we got her. But it's a shame she ended up there because she really does have a good mind on her, and she's willing to learn and she's willing to be with you. She's making more progress every single day. It's getting easier and easier to work with her, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can turn her into, and also seeing her being adopted out. And I'm also looking forward to seeing the updates from anyone that is, anyone that would come out and adopt her.
So for Amethyst, she would need somebody that's very experienced, or has a trainer lined up, or is working with a trainer She can just be a little stubborn sometimes. But as long as you've got some patience and you stick with her, she picks up on things really quick. But as long as you've got that patient hand, she's going to work for you and she's going to be amazing. But you definitely need to have some experience for her. She can just be a little hard-headed. She's one that's come really far really fast, and really excited to see where she ends up.
If you would like more information on Amethyst or any other animal that we have on the property, you can visit horseplushumanesociety.org, or you can email info@horsehumane.org as well.